Welcome to Unlocking Your Truth, another podcast by Dr. Lesley Phillips.
Hello everybody and welcome to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Lesley. My name is Dr. Lesley Phillips and I am your host. And I'm here in the studio with Corey. And we are delighted to be with you this evening.
Hello.
As usual, we have a show filled with topics and listeners' questions.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And, the show is about metaphysics and spirituality, and it's a talk show. So, listeners, you are welcome to phone us up on the following number, 604-504-7441, extension 4142.
And for those of you who don't know where or who we are on, this is Tuesday, and it's 7 to 8 o'clock p.m. on the Pacific Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually call in from anywhere you are if you're up or about at that time. Don't be shy. It's not a geographically local question place thing.
No, we get people actually sending us questions from all over the world. And we get people phoning in from all over North America.
Last week we had questions. I don't see them back in my pile, but questions from Great Britain, from Australia, from, was it Peru? Bolivia.
And we've got Ireland as well this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're very international.
Oh, that wonderful internet.
And so every week what we do is we start off with a topic. And the topic of the week today is 7 key steps that you can take to access your intuition. And these are based on the 7 most common blocks that I encounter with my students who want to access their intuition. These are the 7 most common problems that people run into, the challenges that they have when they want to access their intuition. So I'm going to talk about all 7 of them and see which ones resonate with you. And number 1 on my list of the 7 problems that people have when they want to access their intuition is being too busy. Because they say, Dr. Lesley, how can I find time? Because my life is so busy and I'm so stressed and I've got all these responsibilities and so many other people are relying on me to do stuff for them. Because of course, developing your intuition involves committing to yourself and your personal growth and setting some time aside for you to focus on it. The best way to access your intuition, as I'm always saying, is through meditation. But when people are super busy, setting the time aside to do that becomes a problem for them. And even when they do, they say, I can't sit still for 5 minutes just because of all these obligations. And they say, or I fall asleep when I meditate because I'm exhausted. Or they say, well, I just can't be consistent about it, or I keep putting it off because I keep putting other stuff first. I put other people ahead of me. So my number 1, and I think that this is an issue for most people, is they have the concept, the perception that their life is too busy. And there's actually a difference between having the concept that your life is too busy and it actually being too busy. But that's another discussion. And so my top tip, step number 1 to access your intuition is that you have to develop a consistent meditation practice, a consistent focus on developing it. It's like going to the gym, you have to go to the gym every day and practice if you want to lose weight or tone your body up. Your intuition's kind of like a muscle like that. All right, so that's number one. Number two, the issue I encounter is, I call it drunken monkeys, and I call it that because the Buddha said that the human mind is like a barrel of drunken monkeys. And so the next thing that people say is, I'm so frustrated, I can't focus. Why can't I focus? Why is my mind so busy? Why is it constantly going over the same things over and over again? I can't let go of the past. I'm just going over all this past stuff that's happened to me. I can't concentrate. I'm obsessed with the future. I go over my to-do list all the time. Or I'm judging other people, or I'm criticizing myself. My mind just will not shut up. So even if I do sit to meditate, or I do sit because I want to listen to my intuition, I can't hear anything because all I hear is my chattering mind. So step number 2 that you need to take in order to access your intuition is to be able to quiet your mind, because while you're allowing your mind to chatter that way, then that's the loudest voice and you will not tune into your intuition. That chattering mind belongs to your body and you are spirit. You're not your body. So if you're listening to that, you're listening to your body. All right. Now, number 3 that I find is something that people have problems with is, I call it emotional roller coaster ride, or being an emotional basket case. And these are people who are particularly sensitive on an emotional level. Some people call themselves empaths that are like this. And they say, I'm suppressing my emotions and I have buried feelings and I don't want to deal with it, or they're out of control and I spontaneously, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm in grief, or I'm the kind of person that all my friends who have their emotional problems come to me to talk about them because they find me empathic. But that leaves me feeling absolutely drained by these other people, absolutely exhausted and overwhelmed. And I just don't seem to be able to calm down my emotions, and I don't seem to be able to let go of other people's emotions either. It's exhausting. And so all of that energy being tied up in that emotional drama also will interfere with you accessing your intuition, because, again, the emotions are part of the body. That's how your body talks to you. But you're not your body, you're spirit. So step number 3 that you need to take if you want to access your intuition is calm your emotions. Find a way to calm your emotions.
That sounds easy.
Well, and all of this, I'm making it sound easy. And, there's one word that is the answer to all of this. It's meditation.
Of course.
And we could go into more depth about what kind of meditation, but that's not the focus of the program to tonight's show, because there are specific meditation techniques that I teach which help you do this very easily.
Yeah, you can find some of those on the website too.
Yeah, by listening to the podcast.
drlesleyphillips.com podcast.
If you search the website for grounding, you'll get some podcasts about grounding, or even there's one on centering.
Or on YouTube, Dr. Lesley's YouTube channel. You can find them there too. Yeah,
you can.
Still a plug.
Thank you. And listeners, so far, are which one you resonate with the most? Being really busy, having your mind not shut up, or your emotions being all over the place?
All of them.
All of them. And there's 4 more to go. Here's another one. Trying too hard. So people try really hard. they say, Dr. Lesley, I've read this book, I've read that book, I've followed this guru, I've followed that guru, I've been to this workshop and that workshop, I've bought these tarot cards, I've bought these crystals, I've got all this paraphernalia, I work on it every day.
They're not working.
Why? I can't figure it out. Why isn't it working for me?
No. Why aren't they working?
Well, and why aren't they working for me? Yes, and you bring up another point there. So there's 2 points perhaps here. One, as Corey says, why aren't they working for me? And the simple answer is because the magic is not in the object, it's in you. But also in the trying too hard. Anytime you're trying, anytime you're using effort, anytime it's difficult, again, that's the body, it's not you. The body exists in physical reality. Everything in physical reality takes energy, takes effort, right? It's just the nature of this physical world. But you, the spirit, exist outside of time and space, and so when you're operating as spirit, there's no effort involved. And that's one of the ways that you can tell the difference is this me? Or am I doing it from my body, my brain? If it's effortless, it's you. If you're using effort, then if you're trying hard, it's not you. And the other thing I'll say about that point is, of course, so many people believe that the answers are outside of themselves, whether it's in an object or whether it's in a guru or a book or a workshop. But actually, you have all of your own answers inside of you. But what you need to do is learn how to access them. And of course, meditation is the key. So step number 4, relax, go with the flow, and let go of effort completely when you're wanting to access your intuition. Number 5, I call it spiritual perfectionism. You could call it having expectations, and this can go a number of different ways, and it all boils down to the same thing. So either you feel really like you've got low self-worth when it comes to your intuition, you feel invalidated. Why am I so awful at this? Why can't I do it? And then you compare yourself to others and go, well, why can't I do it like you can, or like he can, or like they can? Why are they better at it than I am? Why can't I see auras yet? Or why can't I talk to dead people yet? Or why can't I hear the angels? Why can't I tell the future? Why just can't I do it? Why am I'm just awful? Or the opposite of that is, you have an amazing experience and then you say, wow, I'm fantastic and I'm better than all these people. And so anytime you're in a kind of a competition, whether it's beating up on yourself or thinking that you're fantastic or someone else is, or any time that you have expectations where you have an expectation of what it's meant to be like that you're trying to live up to. Maybe you had an experience that was amazing and now every time you tune in you want it to be the same. All of that is what I call spiritual perfectionism, being in competition, having expectations, having low self-worth around it. And because here's the thing, every single person is unique. It doesn't make sense to compare yourself to somebody else. And your experience of intuition is unique. Your personal life journey is unique. So step number 5 is just let go of perfectionism, let go of expectations, and just accept yourself as you are. Accept your intuitive experiences as they are and allow them to unfold moment by moment, letting go of any prior experiences that you have, letting go of any comparisons to others. Just let go of all your expectations so that you can receive what the universe has to offer you right here, right now. And number 6 is a big one, being afraid. There are so many different fears that people can have when it comes to intuition. Fear of failure is one. Fear that they will be called crazy. Fear that they'll see something scary, that they're not doing it right. Fear they might lose touch with reality and be crazy. Fear that they will, open up to so many things that they'll go into an alternate reality, right, and lose touch. Fear that they will see stuff about themselves or other people that they won't like, can't cope with what they unleash. They'll experience painful things from the past and they won't be able to cope with it. Or their intuition will tell them stuff that will mean that they'll have to make changes. And if they do make those changes, what will happen and how will the other people around them react? Will they stop loving them? And so, and then, there can also be irrational fears that might have their origins in past lives as well, like, I'm going to die if I do this because you were burnt at the stake at one time or another. So step number 6 really is banish fear. Feel the fear and do it anyway, because whatever the fear is, it's worse than actually doing the thing itself. So let go of fear. And then the final one, my final of these 7 steps is, and this is a really big one too, and I think I've talked about this on the show before, relying on your intellect. Or getting confused between what's the intellect and what's intuition. So people say, what's the difference between my ego and my intuition? What's the difference between my brain and my soul? How can I tell? How can I tell when it's, how can I stop doubting my intuition? How can I tell when it's my ego sabotaging me? How can I tell when it's, I'm overriding my intuition with my intellect? People don't know the difference, and people are so programmed into their intellect as well that many people who believe that they are focusing on their intuition and their intuitive nature are actually just passing it all through their intellect. So step number 7, the final one on this list of 7 things, is trust your intuition. Learn to trust your intuition and learn to bypass your intellect. And so I'll just recap. The 7 key steps are: develop a consistent practice, so commit to yourself, devote time to it. Learn how to quiet your mind, how to calm your emotions, how to let go of effort, let go of perfectionism and expectations, overcome your fears, and learn to trust your intuition. And of course, when you've done all of that, then the next step, which can sometimes be a barrier for people, is, okay, now how do I follow it? Okay, I can recognize my intuition is saying something to me, but it's pretty scary now to actually follow it. So folks, which ones resonated the most for you? And I'll also just mention, by the way, that tonight's show is based on a free webinar that I did last night. And that free webinar is, the replay is on my YouTube channel right now. So if you search YouTube for my channel, or you and look for Awaken Your Intuition, you will be able to watch the full webinar, because we go over these 7 steps, and then we actually also go over the 4 main intuition types and the specific challenges that those 4 main intuition types can encounter. So it's a really great webinar, and I encourage you to check that out by looking me up on YouTube. And I guess we've come to a pause for some ads, but I'll just read out the phone number. So you're listening to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Lesley, and you can phone in 604-504-7441 extension 4142. If you're listening in on a Tuesday night between 7 and 8, dial this number, 604-504-7441 extension 4142, and get ready to dial it now, folks, if you're listening live, because I'm ready to answer your questions. Hello, listeners, and welcome back to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Lesley. My name is Dr. Lesley Phillips, and we have our first caller on the line. Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hi, who am I talking to?
This is Trina. You healed my knee a few months ago.
Ah, hello, Trina. And how can we help you today?
I just wanted to kind of get a calm mind, actually. My boyfriend's house just burned down last week, and we've been in a bit of a tizzy and getting lots of love and support, but I would just love a little bit of, calmness.
Okay. All right. Well, let me give you a quick healing then. How about that? And if I see anything to say, I will.
Sounds great.
And the first thing that comes up is, in one way, from a spiritual perspective, it was kind of like a lesson in trusting the universe and trusting that the universe is there to support you no matter what. So that's the first thing. And I'm seeing that you actually have been working on bringing in a calmer energy. I'm seeing that there's this lovely blue energy, which is just hovering above your head. And you're meaning and wanting to surround yourself in it. But the body just got so freaked out that it's been acting as a little bit of a barrier to the flow of that energy. Because I'm seeing that there's some fear in the body, and there's it looks like the whole incident, from one perspective, it's a terrible thing to have happened. From another perspective, everyone involved got the opportunity to light up a bunch of fear and pain and sadness and grief, and that's an opportunity if you use the opportunity to let it go and heal yourself. Because not only is it the stuff around the house is big, but of course it's going to stimulate and trigger a deeper level of that for anyone that it's grief and pain and fear from their whole lifetime. So it's a doorway. It's a doorway to healing, and it's a doorway to gratitude for all the people helping and rallying around as well. So
it's been incredible, actually.
Yeah, I don't know whether you feel a little bit of a shift, but more of that blue energy is pouring through now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's still some pastime energy, and also I'm seeing the other thing is that a challenge. It's like, so what's going to happen now and what's going to happen next, and that's sort of in opposition to the trusting that it's going to be okay. But I'm seeing what that's doing. If you know about chakras, it's just causing you to open your crown chakra really wide, and that, rather than make it better, actually makes it worse, because it just opens you to too much information as opposed to just your own flow of information. What's your boyfriend's name?
Robert Allen.
Okay, let's take a look at him. Oh yeah, there's a lot going on in you. I'm feeling, as I'm giving you a healing, a lot being released. I'll take a quick look at him. Well, I'm just seeing he have you ever been at a place in your life where so much has shifted and changed that you almost don't know who you are anymore? It's like the rug's been pulled on from under his feet. It's like he's at a loss. He's at a loss. It looks like, many of us go through times like that where things that we knew about ourselves and about our world are suddenly taken away. Whether it's a job loss, or you decide to change your career, or the things that you were important to you no longer are, or even a bereavement. And I'm seeing that's how he's experiencing it, and he's in that in between state, that limbo state, where what I knew doesn't exist anymore, and it hasn't been replaced with anything yet. So that's what I'm seeing for him. So we'll give him a little bit of a healing too.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. he's just, you don't even know what to say about it. It's sort of.
Yeah. He's actually been incredibly happy and friendly and jovial and taking it exceedingly well, I have to say.
Yeah.
He's looking at it as a clean slate.
Yes.
Start over.
Yeah.
A wake-up call.
Yeah. And that is what it is. But it is, I am seeing him in that precarious place, or that place where, like I said, where what was is gone and what's coming isn't here yet.
Right.
And it's an exciting place too. It can be a scary place, but it can also be a really exciting place to be.
Mm-hmm.
New adventures.
Yeah.
All right, so, I mean...
God bless you. Thank you so much, Dr. Lesley.
You're welcome, Trina. So, blessings to you and good luck for what comes next on your journey and your boyfriend's journey.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, you're
Bye-bye.
Welcome. Bye. Okay, I think we can move to another question. And we had a few people write in this week.
Yep, we sure did. And this question is from Marge. And Marge writes, it's a little bit of a long question, so you may want to take a couple of notes. The second one is as well. Excuse me. I'm reaching out to you because I have a situation with a friend that makes me feel very sad. It's been 2 months since we've had no contact. I've been through a difficult time, and his friendship felt so important for me, so it's hard to feel like I have lost this connection. Could I please ask you a favor? I was wondering if you could simply help me on this and let me know if you see this person will contact me again, and if our friendship will resume. If this is acceptable for you to simply provide this info, this would mean the world to me as unfortunately I cannot afford a session at this point. It would be greatly appreciated if you were able to see if our friendship will be able to resume and continue and grow. And what is the best way to resume it? Is he upset? Should I wait? Take action? What type of action? I'm just throwing a few questions to give you a context of what's on my mind.
Okay. All right, Marge, we will take a look. We'll take a look for you at this situation. And let's start with you. And, the first thing that I see with you is, if you listen to the show a lot, you'll hear me talk about growth cycles. So we all go through growth cycles in life. Sometimes we're at the beginning of a new one, sometimes at the end of an old one, and we just continue with these growth cycles. And I'm saying that you're at the beginning of a new growth cycle, which is all around love, acceptance, forgiveness, all of those heart-centered aspects. And I'm seeing that one of the things that you've done in the past is look for validation outside of yourself and from others, and then feel that there's something wrong with you if that doesn't happen. So one of the things that I'm seeing this is giving you the opportunity for is to transcend that limit. And so I'm seeing you at the beginning of this blossoming of, I am love, and love is inside me always, and all I need to do is to tap into that love, and I can be. And then, the miracle is when I do that, I become a beacon of light that attracts other loving beings. So that's one part of it. I'm saying the other part of it has to do with loneliness and wanting a companion, and a genuine affinity for this person. And I'm going to give you a quick healing, and then I'm going to look at him, and I'm going to look at the relationship as well. Because I'm seeing that at the beginning of this new cycle, where you're entering this phase of acceptance, forgiveness, and self-love and self-affinity and all of that, that there's some stuff from your past that you're needing and wanting to clear and let go of. And it's just any time where what's been happening has been the opposite of that. There's some pricklies. I'm feeling some pricklies as I'm working on this. All right, so we're just connecting you with source energy and love and light and helping that flow through you. And then let's look at the relationship. Let's look at this chap. See, when I look at him, and I'll just be descriptive about what I see, it's almost like there's some force that's pulling him in another direction. But it also looks like that direction that he's being pulled in isn't the direction that he wants to go. So I am seeing that he has a desire to move towards you on the one hand. On the other hand, there is some really, really strong influence that is stopping him. And that strong influence looks like someone or something outside of him. And let's see what else I can see about it. And it feels like something he's fighting, something he's battling, something he's struggling with. And it's keeping all of his attention. And, you know, sometimes when you've got some, for want of a better word, demon to fight, it stops you having your attention on certain other things in your life. And so I don't feel that he's angry at you. What I feel is that his focus is being taken up by something else, and it's something that he is struggling against, and it's pulling him in another direction, and it's sucking him in a direction that he doesn't want to go. And the other part of your question is what to do. And I know you said, well, do I see you coming together in the future? And you might, if you've listened to the show before, you'll know that I don't predict the future for people, because all that exists is right now, and the future is a probability field. So all one can do is look at the most probable likely outcome. It's not predetermined. And the other thing I'm very careful to do is not take your power away, because you create your reality and he creates his reality. But I'll give you as much information that I can about that. And I feel that it partly rests on his ability to work his way through whatever it is that he's going through right now. Because it's like you are wanting to connect with him. I feel that he would be happy about that if he wasn't struggling with this other thing in his life. So to me, that looks like the crux of it. And then what to do? I would just leave the space and time and focus on yourself in the meantime. And, you know, people talk about the law of attraction. The more loving you can be to yourself, the more that you can feel the love within you, the more you become an attraction point for other loving beings. And whether it's this gentleman friend or even other friends to come into your life. And I'm going to just see whether Corey's actually picked up on anything about this one. Have you? No, he hasn't. So let me do one last check-in and see what else I can tell you. Okay, so what to do? The crux of it is you are seeking companionship. You'd like to have a companion, a loving companion, someone in your life. Now, sometimes what we do is we fixate on it must be a particular person. But when we do that, we limit the possibilities down to one. And so one thing I would just suggest is accept what is for right now and focus on being the love that you want to attract into your life, and focus on a more general thing like, I want to attract a loving, supportive partner into my life. And just allow the universe to introduce you, whether it's this person back into your life or whether it's other people that fit that bill. Because at the moment it doesn't look like he fits that bill. Could he in the future? Yes, I see that he could. But right now, that's not the reality. So he's got some stuff that he's going through that he needs to work his way through. And the best thing for you to do is not stay fixated on him and wait for the possibility that that happens, but rather just focus on yourself, nurturing and caring for yourself, and the general idea of what it is that you want to attract into your life as opposed to the specific person. So I hope that that helps you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a break now, and after that we'll have more questions. Welcome back, listeners, to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Lesley on 101.7 FM, broadcasting live across the Fraser Valley. And we're live every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and our phone number is 604-504-7441, extension 4142. So, Corey, I believe you have another question for us today.
Yes, I do. Would you like me to read it to you?
I would. Oh. Otherwise, there's going to be a whole lot of dead air.
Yeah, I guess. I can sing.
Okay, sure.
Or you could. Okay, this is from Cloud. Cloud wants to know, I recently added a powder to my diet that balances hormones. I was unsure of taking it because of the conflicting posts about whether or not it was okay for people with an overactive thyroid. I remembered you telling me in a reading that my thyroid was overactive and had a nodule from some energetic issues I was having, so I was worried about it. Worried about if I should take it. It's supposed to be an herb for stress that works on the entire endocrine system, so I thought, why not try it out, as it may balance my thyroid too, so I ordered it anyway. When the product arrived, I opened the package, and when I looked at it, my throat lit up. I had a strange feeling as if my thyroid was speaking to me. The energy radiated outward as if it were glowing, and I didn't know if that feeling meant, yes, I should take the product, it will help, or no, I shouldn't. It's been about 4 days of me taking it, and I've noticed some changes for the better, but also I felt some things around my throat area too. Now my lymph nodes are swollen. I have neck pain, and I feel as if I'm sick in the neck and chest, and even may have the flu. So I was wondering if you could take a look and tell me if the powder I'm taking is having adverse effects, making my thyroid even more overactive, if I am just sick, or if something is happening energetically to my throat. And also I'd like to know what my body/throat was, well, that didn't come out right, my body
/throat
was telling me when I held the package and had that glowing feeling. Actually, when you write that as well, the way she's written it, body/throat.
Okay, so I will look at this question, Cloud, but I'll also just say, of course, the information that I provide on this program is information of a complementary nature. And so any time that you're feeling unwell, it is advisable to also consult your physician. With that said, I will take a look. Oh, can you close the door, Corey? It's a bit noisy, those people outside the studio. All right, so let's take a look. And first of all, I'm going to just look in present time at what's going on. And I'm definitely seeing congested, stagnant energy in the throat area. So I'll just obviously validate, and you know yourself by the physical symptoms that you're having that there's something going on. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a healing in that throat center. I am seeing what you're talking about with the lymph nodes. They look hard. They look rock hard. So I will also give you a healing in the lymph nodes. I'm curious about what the name of this herb is. I keep thinking ashwagandha, but maybe it's something else. Anyway, let me just give you this healing. See if I can get the energy flowing in your fifth chakra, rather than it just being all stagnant and backed up. It's backed up. So it's always... I'm going quiet, folks, just because I'm giving this lady a healing. But let me just take a look now at this herb that you bought that's supposed to affect the entire endocrine system. So it looks to me what it did was it started a cascade of events. So, of course, this is not something that's like a magic bullet that's focusing on one particular thing. It's focusing on a whole interconnected network of endocrine glands. And so what I'm seeing is that it started to create some shift. It started to create some shift in, it looks like in some other areas, it looks like your adrenals. Right, so the idea of it, I think you said it was anti-stress, I can't remember, but it looks like it made some shift in the adrenal glands, and, started making some changes, but I'm seeing, of course, it's like one area changes and that has knock-on effects for other areas, and so it looks like it temporarily made the issues in your throat more acute. And so then the question becomes, well, if you were to continue taking it, would that work itself out or not? And again, that's a bit of a future time question, but let me just look at the two options: continue taking it or stop taking it, and I'll see which one looks brightest to me. So continue taking it. I'll tell you what I see, because neither answer. The stop taking it looks very, very slightly brighter than not. But what I'm seeing, than take it. But what I'm seeing when I look at you taking it is I'm seeing that the energy's in flux. There's just a lot of changes happening in your body. And it looks like if you continued taking it, the changes would continue to happen. And there'd be more changes. And it would be a process that would take time. Whereas if you stop taking it, then that process of changes would stop and the system would stabilize. And so I'm seeing that this substance is doing stuff. It's doing a whole bunch of stuff. And it's not a quick fix. It's something that has effect on your body over time. But if you wanted to, so that's, let me see if there's anything else I can tell you. So you said, is it having adverse effects? Well, I am seeing it did make the thyroid problem more acute. And then let's look at what else we can tell you about it. And I will ask Corey while I'm looking. I think he's got something that he's seeing as well. So let's give him a chance to chime in, and I'll continue giving you a healing while he does that.
One of the things that she said in her question was that she went on the internet and read, excuse me, and read up on the powder that she's taking, and some of the comments were positive and some were negative. We also have to remember that when we're working on our body, how much effect our mind has on our body. I've taken medication or herbal remedies for things that worked and didn't work, and worked once on me and didn't work again on me. And it was, a lot of that had to do with my state of mind. if we believe and go in wholeheartedly believing that something will help, then there's more chance that you'll have a positive reaction to it. Now, the other thing too is sometimes it's got to hurt to help. In essence, so sometimes things will flare up because you're throwing something at it that, hey, listen, what's going on here? And it might take time, but again, this is just, you got to remember, be really, really positive about what you're doing if you want to have a positive effect.
Yeah, and the body is smart. The body is smart, but the body also does take time to heal and repair itself and redress the balance when it's got out of balance. We live in this culture that's so quick fix. I want to take this pill and I want to be better tomorrow. And sometimes, a herbal remedy will be, a gentle thing it takes a little bit of time and commitment. So, let me just see if I believe that this is damaging you. Let's just see, is it damaging you? What I really see is just it's changing you, and you're in the middle of it changing you. And I would just really say, like I said, I would just say before, if you keep taking it, the changes will keep happening. And if you stop taking it, it looks like if you stop taking it, you'll feel better because the changes that it is catalyzing will stop. So I know I'm not giving you a really absolute answer, but if I was to go with the energy, I would say stopping taking it looks slightly more comfortable for you than continuing to take it. And I would also say you probably should go and just check in with your doctor too about those lymph nodes and this, just to, if you haven't done already. And we probably don't have time for another question, so I'm just continue giving you a healing until it's time to introduce the next show. And if anything else comes up, I can talk about what you're letting go of in these lymph nodes in the chest area, and it just looks like a whole bunch of past time energy. Old stuckness.
Stuckness is a word.
Stuckness isn't a word, but it's just... So I'm going to work a little bit with that chest area and see if we can help you clear. Oh, it's from when you're a baby. It's from when you're a baby. I'm seeing it be in the shape of a baby's bib. Like a baby's bib around your neck. And it just looks like there's a kind of energy imprint. It's like wearing the bib was, now you're going to get food shoveled down your throat, whether you like it or not. All right, so I'll just work on that chest area. And you're definitely a lot going on there. And let's see. And there's some suppressed anger. There's some suppressed anger that's coming up now in the throat. So, unspoken anger. And it's the kind of thing that says, leave me alone. Leave me alone. So, and as a baby, right, you've got no choice right there. You sit in your high chair, put your bib on, here's your dinner. Not much you can do about it. So I'm just saying, like, if you go back over your life and all the times that you wanted to say, leave me alone, that's what's up for you right now in that throat area where you wanted to say that and you didn't say that. So I'm keeping going a little bit on this throat. The energy's shifting, by the way, very much so, because right now the predominant energy is the anger. So we've got it moving. It's not stuck. But it's angry. And the body's angry. And I'm seeing that the body wants to be heard as well. So it's almost like the body was talking to you. The body does want you to listen to it. And it doesn't want to be placated by a pill or a herb. So it looks like actually doing a little bit of work, meditating and talking to your body and talking to the different parts of your body and see and feel for the responses, feel for the emotions, feel for the energy that you feel in the different places, because it looks like it does want to be heard. So your comment about like feeling like your thyroid was speaking to you and feeling like, it looks like it was. It looks like your body wants to be heard, and your body doesn't want to be shut up or shut down. And then the final piece of the question was about the throat lighting up. Did you say her brain lit up as well, or just the throat? Let's see. Well, it feels to me like it was lighting up because it was saying yes to the herb. Because finally she's starting to pay us some attention as well. All right.
I'm waving my clock.
I know.
Joe.
We have to go.
See you next week.
See you next time. Next Tuesday, 7:00.
Thank you for joining us. You've been listening to another Unlocking Your Truth podcast by Dr. Lesley Phillips. For more information, go to our website at drlesleyphillips.com. That's drlesleyphillips.com, where you can ask questions or send her an email, and there's many free gifts on there for you as well. Come back again.